Hey everybody, this is Pastor. I want to use these Wednesday Pastor's Thoughts over the next few weeks to talk about the basics of our faith in Jesus Christ. You know, I've been watching what's been going on with all of the changes that have happened in our world today, and we're doing everything we can to maintain a level of faith and fellowship as the members of Crossroads Independent Baptist Church. And to be honest with you, I'm seeing some things that I wish I were not seeing. And it has to do with just the times that we live in and the circumstances of those times. And so what I'd like to do is I would like to encourage we who are the membership of the Crossroads Independent Baptist Church in the basics of the faith, because I think if we focus our mind on the basics of the faith, if we commit ourselves to the things that are the most basic, if we build a firm foundation, we won't be moved by the things that are going on in the world that we live in. And so today I want to talk about the subject of faith. You know, when faith lives, we can make it through just about anything. The Bible says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. And so, faith is not something that we can just dream up or that we can just muster up. It is something that comes to us from the inside and comes to us from the working of the Spirit in our lives. And we then, take that working of the Spirit and we use it to be able to stand strong in the Lord and in the power of His might. And when we put on the whole armor of God, like it teaches us in the book of Ephesians, we stand in the faith that God has provided and created for us and created in us. And so my thought this morning is that we need to really consider the subject of faith. What do we have faith in? That is a reliance in, a trusting in, a belief in, a desire to accomplish the end that should be accomplished. And so if our faith is in God, then it can't be in man. If our faith is in God, it can't be in the science of man or the politics of man or the logic of man or those types of things. I've been reading again in Isaiah, and I am drawn again and again to the verse where the Bible says, "Come now, let us reason together, saith the Lord." Now he's talking about the sin of the people and the restoration and the forgiveness from that sin. But the truth is, we need to reason with God. We need to listen to what He has to say. Instead of trying to make reasons and excuses for not abiding by what He says, we need to trust and have faith that everything that He says and everything that we're doing for Christ and for the work of Christ can be done simply because He has asked us to do it. And I'm sorry, I got a little distracted. I got a text message while I was trying to put that thought together. But the point is that if we have faith in God, then that faith that we have in God is the thing that should drive us. It is the thing that should motivate us. It is the thing that should cause us to believe that nothing can happen to us that happens apart from God. If God is the center, if God is the maker, if God is the keeper, if God is the one who does all these things, and we admit and rightfully and correctly admit that God has all of these attributes, then why is it that oftentimes we worship money over God? Why is it that we even worship family over God? Why is it that we worship the entertainment of the world over God? Why is it that we worship our politics over God? Why is it that we look to so many other things that blind us from our simple understanding that God is who he says he is, that he has a plan for our lives, and that if we would pursue that plan with persistence and with passion, that he would provide for us an end that will be something that will afford us life and that more abundant. I'm just struggling some with this idea that we have to get back to the basics. We have to get back to the mindset of the Bible. We have to get back to being the person that God intends for us to be, no matter what's going on in the world. Whether I wear a mask in the hardware store, or whether I preach in a pulpit or from in front of a camera, or whether I witness to my friend face to face or with a Zoom conference. None of those things really keep us, or should keep us, from living a life of faith. Why do we do what we do? Do we do it because we love the Lord our God with all our heart, soul, and mind? Do we do it because we love our neighbor as ourselves? Do we do it because we know God is true and everything that he teaches us is true and right in all circumstances and in all eras of time, under any cultural circumstance or situation? Or do we do it simply because it's convenient for the moment, and if God stops being convenient, then we're going to stop serving? You see, it's really a question of faith. In whom do we have we placed our faith, and why have we placed our faith in that one, and how are we going to live out that faith for God's glory throughout all of our lives? Something to think about. I hope to see you tonight in church if you're available. If not, I hope you will tune in to us online. And if you have any questions or comments about the subject of faith, you certainly can get with me and ask me those questions. Tell me what your comments are, and we will work from there to build a strong church. Even in a COVID era, God is still God. Even in an era of unrest socially, God is still God. Even in a world where we don't get to sit down and have coffee like we have in the past, God is still God. Even in our isolation, if you will, God is still God. The question isn't God. The question falls to us. Where is our faith? In whom have we placed it? And how are we going to live in the faith that we have received of the Spirit of God? I hope you have a great day, and I hope that God blesses you in all things. Thanks. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.